Hello fans of Marvel Heroes, my name is Wilfred Wong and welcome to my channel where you see video and guides on this free-to-play game called Marvel Heroes. Now, a lot of you have been asking me how's Black Cat in the test center, so I've taken a look at her and guess what? It is pre-order or don't bother again. So now, before we go on talking about her sort of like powers or build and so on and so forth, let's just listen to her voice acting first because I love it. But whether you like it or not, here we go. So this is first one.
I never liked fighting, but it's the only way to get that sweet, sweet treasure. Sorry, fellas. I'm out of here.
It's very nice.
Don't think I can talk my way out of this. Help! Live a little. You know you want to.
You know you want to.
First one over here gets to buy me a drink. Not bad for the best thief this side of Wall Street. That's 7 years bad luck. You keep outdoing yourself like that, and it'll get me interested.
Yeah, interested, huh?
Like a cat, I'm indifferent to seeing you here.
So, I mean, I must say, right, her voice acting is actually top-notch. I really like the kind of emotion and kind of things in it. So, well, that is my take. I mean, definitely voice acting is an A+. Costume-wise, though, I know a lot of people has been discussing how she looked like in her costume, and well, I mean, her hair is wonderful. That's all I can say. And I think art is subjective. Sometimes people like it, sometimes don't like. So let me know whether you like it or not. I'm just not really feeling the whole costume thingy. But okay, the next bit of the video, I'm going to take her into a couple of the cosmic terminals, just to try some of her abilities out, and I've sort of geared her quite nicely with some anti-heroes kind of unique, just some some stuff that I've been lying around, and I've been putting nice ring and rune words and all the jazz into her. So without, well, there's no legendary, of course, but I mean the roles of these stuff is pretty elemental, but still, I mean the gear wise is pretty decent. So whatever you see later on, just sort of like relate back to the gear I'm having on her right now. And also she's now on test center. This is a very alpha build, so many things may change. But what you should pay attention to though is the design philosophy, because I realized something after playing this game for so long, going through a test center for so many times as well, is that the build philosophy usually don't really change. They may tweak certain things in the test center before going live. So whether she's your cup of tea, just pay attention to those little things. Alright, so the next bit is the cosmic terminal. So before I take her for a demonstration in Kingpin Cosmic Terminal, I'd like to talk a little bit about her power and specialization and so on. So she has 3 specialization. If you have played any recent heroes before, some of the recent hero, it is at home, because her melee build, which is the claws and whips, very much like many heroes out there these days, you can't really tell much difference in terms of play style. She probably may play like a little bit like Magic or Kitty Pryde or Black Panther, those that you have like a share cooldown, share damage over time kind of thing. All this power thing is all there in the claws and whips. And there are specializations as well, and if you so pick Hunter and Hunted, you will actually have things like the share cooldown will be removed, Kitty Pryde, and the sort of like a damage over time will stack onto each other, like some of the heroes out there these days. And the great thing about specialization, or the not so great thing about specialization, is there are 0 imagination when it comes to picking this, because when you pick this, basically all this power listed there that main buff, just use them. You don't need to think. There's no need to think about what build to sort of go beyond that. So that's Hunter and Hunted. And another one, let's talk about Thievery first. Now Thievery is quite interesting. Fortune and Favor, that is the specialization. Again, some of this power no longer have a share cooldown, so guess what? You can do both. And this is very much a stealth build. So for those who have played like Black Panther, those rely on stealth and do extra damage, this is your cup of tea to do that. So and very much like, you know, you remove the share cooldown, but, you know, at the same time, you know, there are a couple of other things you can't do, like the trap is being disabled. One trap is being disabled. So there are like cross kind of like things going on. Like for this one, the trap powers are disabled. So, you know, if you pick claws and whips, basically the entire tree called traps is out. You can't use it. But if you pick thievery, you can pick any of those traps, but not the the Tesla one, which is the last trap. Alright, so now, and the last one is kind of interesting as well, the Predator and Prey, which is very much on trap. You know, traps you can execute up to 4 times, but, you know, if you pick this specialization, you can sort of like, you know, last for, you can have 5 of them, and then it lasts, the cooldown reduced by 1 second. So instead of like, you know, all these things have a cooldown, and you can't really do it right now here, but all these things has like a cooldown and stuff like that, and has a timer bomb as well. So this kind of improve it for this specialization. So is it, I mean, basically this is just for kind of like this different variety. Now, I picked claws and whip to start with, so I'm going to demonstrate to you how this particular build works. I'm going to walk through others later on some other clips. So when it comes to the Black Cat, there's something called land on your feet, which is basically apply vulnerability. You just go like that, land on your feet, and after that, claw plummet is very, or the faux fillet is very much like the loot cage, kind of like just hit the, or Moonlight, just hit in front for a while, and then claws out is the one that like a movement kind of thing, very nice if you want to do movement build. Then come here kitty is the one that has a grip like that, has a cooldown, by the way, share with well, it's no longer share with faux fillet because of my specialization. And then you have this signature called Cat Stretch Fever. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Master Thief is the one that you could go stealth for 5 seconds, have a cooldown of 30 seconds, signature. So now, just to get it started, there's something called Bad Luck as well. Let me just, Bad Luck is one of the toggle, turn it on. Is there any scenario whereby you don't turn it on? Probably not. So yeah, it's a toggle. So okay, so let's just start. So what it really means is just go land on your feet and cross out, and after that just you know, various things, and just measure them all because they all have some effect here and there to buff each other, to buff the core or buff the you know, either buff the core or buff the whip. So there are things that you buff things, and as you can see, it's very spirit intensive. If you sort of like, I'm having a costume core right now to add spirit, but I mean, she's very spirit intensive. I don't know how it's going to work out. It's a little bit of surprise though, because these days you know, new heroes don't really have any spirit issue. And it could be the gear I use, because I'm using the any hero unit, I do not know. And what does signature look like? That look like, let me just go in for a group of mobs. So her signature looks something like this. Watch out. Alright, just like this, hands off. And just wait. Doesn't that remind you of a little bit of Iron Fist, the Leopard, or the one of the magic power? I don't know. I mean, you guys be the judge. But I mean, you know, it's very functional. It's a good old kind of thing. You just leap it in and just do a bit of movement, a bit of like a grip, and that's it. End of story. And the good thing about it is that the jump doesn't really have a lot of cooldown, and that's it. So I mean, if you want to play her well, probably you would like a little bit of jump here, a little bit of like movement here, and you know, it's pretty agile. That probably set her aside from the rest of the hero that I keep saying is similar. Alright, so this apply bleed, land on the feet, apply bleed as well. So yeah, so like that. Alright, cross out, then like that. Then after that, wow, there's a whole bunch of mobs out there. What do? Signature, just hands off, watch. Nice, done? No. Alright, done. So I don't know, I mean the signature seems a little bit long, but anything is subjected to change, of course. So yeah, I mean, you be the judge. You've seen how the thing go. Whether she look like any other heroes out there, the melee heroes especially. I do not know. I have this suspicious that this build is probably one of the strongest out of the 3. It's also more practical rather than going stealth. So again, 1, 2, 2. I missed something. All right, 3 grip. All right, that's it. So I mean, you know, it's a lot of movement around, which is kind of nice, but I do not think you could gear for movement on her. So a little bit of disappointment in some sense. Not even a signature is movement tag. So I mean, Black Cat has a nice artifact that's above the movement, if I remember correctly. So what do I use it for? Not Black Cat. So yeah, I know, strange. But yeah, I mean, you know, the it's very spirit intensive if I don't use Mech Kit. And I mean, right now it's already gone. By the way, she has a very nice swing as well. And let me see whether I can bring it. Oh, this is like Spider-Man, very graceful, very nice. So for you to travel. So now I'm going to see a Kingpin. Again, I use Master Thief to go permanent invisible after I've done all my rotations. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands off, and it move around. Permanent, kind of like you know. All right, do a permanent invisible, and that's it. That is all. That is Black Cat for you. So that is one build. I probably do another video on I mean, maybe a thievery build. Just have a kind of like a feel on that. Now, of course, besides being a melee, kind of like a traditional melee kind of build, you could have her as the trap kind of build as well. Now, this build I'm using is a little bit of movement, a little bit of trap as well, and it's basically all out for trap. So she has a couple of traps that can lay onto each other. Like the sticky trap, which is more for vulnerability, the gas trap, which is the damage over time, and then explosive trap, which is like just like a big bang kind of thing. And then there's something called the tester trap, which is kind of interesting because it kind of interlace with one another kind of thing. You can have them like, you know, just cross each other kind of thing. So you could potentially build a field to take out the enemy with your 5 kind of bombs. So you can set 5 traps. Because of this particular specialization I have, the Predator and Prey, you have 5 traps, and also the cooldown of the trap reduced by 1 second. What it really means is that every 5 seconds, you can just redo all these things again. So if you can time it like 5 seconds and so, you can keep reapplying, alright? And then after that, there aren't really many things I could really fit in. I just want to demonstrate in full how she can do with all the traps and so on. The main spender, I picked something more of a movement because I picture if I'm on the trap and so on, I like to just move around kind of thing. It doesn't really matter because it's just for fun. And so I'm going in, and you have the just demonstrate something like sticky trap, gas trap. All right, so you have the tester trap as well. You can put one here, put one here, put one here, and see how it goes, right? And after that, it's just like cross, you know, each other. It doesn't really do a lot of damage though, the trap. So I don't think you could rely on the trap as the main layer. I seriously don't think so. I mean, of course, all these you know, tuning that yet to be done, and all right, so you can just keep laying traps and and do a movement here and there, right? So I mean, entirely up to you if that is your cup of tea, all right? So there's a little bit of movement here, and there's a boss time, and as always, this build is very, very spirit intensive. And I can put a field tester here and there as well, 5 of them, all right? And you know, signature, invulnerable during the time. So these are very traditional stuff, and movement, and then do a field tester here and there, movement, and just spam a bit more other thing as well. No, but I mean, you know, this really like alright, so I can reset the traps and do more, like you know, explosion is probably the one that is good to have. But I mean, this build is going to be like, you know, take a while to get it sorted, so I don't really think the trap build is something that I think the traps I mean, on theory has a lot of potential, but I don't think you would want to. I mean, you look at the amount of damage is being dealt with the trap. If not for the team up. Yeah, so I mean, just to demonstrate to you some of these things, of course you can have other traps as well, and yeah, this one is pretty effective. So in a way, some traps are good, some traps are just for fun. I think all this tester trap is just like, you know, I mean, in theory it's quite cute to look at, but I don't think they really do a lot of damage, seriously. I could do more just to show you, and I begin to have a feel what it works and what doesn't actually. But yeah, I mean, it's quite fun actually. You could just keep building trap, and the as and when is, I mean, instead of like you know, traditional, you know, spam, tank and spam, you could just do a little bit of movement, a bit of trap, and a little bit of signature, hands off, and just enjoy the show. Alright, so I mean, Yeah, I mean, this is just some of the options out there. Not saying that this will be definitive, but if you like that, I mean, trap is something quite unique to. Although Black Widow has something similar as well, but trap is actually quite kind of unique to Black Cat, I would say. So, you know, and I really wish that it will work, and because you could actually I can foresee there's a lot of potential though, because you know, you could actually do a lot of things with all this trap. Then you know, you can reset as well, and you know, I think the explosive one is probably one that I'll use quite often. What is it? The key number 3. So, I mean, because there's no point putting in multiple kind of like okay, so I could also do this. Hang on. I need to map some key. Okay, hang on. Map, this one is F1 and F2. Okay, so F3 is this one. So let me just do a little bit more, because I think it has some potential. Would like to just showcase to you what is unique, what is not, right? So again, the kind of few bombs here is explosion, and then you have the Tesla, and just beaming everywhere, man. So yeah, I mean, it does, I mean, in a way, it is, I don't know, man. I mean, you guys be a judge, and does it really kind of like, you know, works well for you? The kind of traps? I don't know. I mean, the Tesla trap is the one that, you know, special to this specialization, because, you know, without this specialization, you can't really do a Tesla trap, which is the one that has all the lines, by the way. And so I thought this one's supposed to be quite interesting, but it doesn't seem to be as effective as I wish it would be, at least from the other field traps perspective. Alright, so yeah, I mean, you know, that is the kind of like thing that you expect when you do a trap kind of build, if you so wish to, just a little bit more before I go back to the build that I'm more comfortable with than because I think I have more fun though with the other build. But then again, you know, it is like a same old love again with the other build. There's nothing much kind of like a difference when you think you play Black Cat, but you like, you know, like you confuse yourself with probably like Kitty Pryde or whatnot, because the melee build is actually very similar to some of the recent build out there. I thought the trap one is quite a nice one. Stealth one though, I'm not really into it, so you know, likely or not, I'm not going to like really study too much on that, because I feel that stealth build require quite a lot of patience to stealth in and out, and as I tested it, it doesn't seem to work too well for the Black Cat, because sometimes if you stand on poison, you cannot stealth, and if you cannot stealth, you're unable to sort of like reap the benefit of the stealth itself. So you know, they kind of like it defeat the whole purpose of stealthing. Because if you stand on this poison thingy, your stealth actually be broken, and there are 2 powers that you cannot use, just from my understanding. So I tried that, and I don't really fancy that kind of like stuff. So let me just quickly dispatch this group, and what I'll do, see, out of spirit. What I'll do after that, I would then switch back to the build that I'm more comfortable in doing. All right, so now I'm done. Alright, so that is one. I'm going back to the build that I'm comfortable in doing. So now I think in short, right, there are multiple options when it comes to Black Cat. So this is still the one that I feel is more natural to any of those. Like probably the easiest to play as well, I would say, because they are very traditional. Just 2 damage over time and 2 damage over time and 2 cooldown power, that's all. And it used to be share cooldown, but because of specialization, it is not. Let me see whether my bad luck is, I have to toggle that on. It's sort of like when you switch specialization, it doesn't stay with you, unfortunately. So, I mean, definitely this one I'm a lot more comfortable with, you know, and I think my Black Cat would probably be something like this, but I mean, no, the spirit consumption is pretty high. Could well be, you know, the thing that I'm using. And also, I'd like to talk about, if I may, the damage reduction. So it's only 35%. Consider the fact that I've got a Kung Fu Master as well, which give me a lot of dodge as well, a lot of like the defense. So she really need 9/9 perhaps, I think. So yeah, I mean yeah, it's something that is quite interesting because if she isn't fragile, she won't be using nightlife, right? I mean, the secondary resource on the purple one doesn't make sense. But if she's fragile, then is this something that you like to keep procking the nightlife? Let me know whether that is an interesting design or just one of those gimmick. And so yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that is nice. And the where's my okay signature? All right, and after that, just go through my 1, 2, 3. Okay, why not I proc 9 life just for you guys to see what happened when it's 9 life kicks in, right? All right, so I'm going to purposely do a 9 life, and yeah, right, 2 life, 3 life, right? So basically, you can die 9 times while doing boss. Fun time. So that is it. And you know what? Let me just try to do one more and show you the ultimate, and that is about it. Oh, see, another life gone. So yeah, I mean, okay. Let me just. By the way, Marvel Hero 2016, the poster is out. Let me do another one, just to show you the ultimate. All right. So last clip here is to rush for curse. So I'm just going in to rush for curse. And well, I mean, I could walk, I guess, but it seems to me that it's taking up too much spirit if I do that. All right, the stealthy 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, don't need the 4th one. All right, so so that's 1. Then after that, second lieutenant against Black Cat. 1, 2, 3. That's it. All right, so on to the last one. Then I'll do an ultimate on curse to show you unleashed. First time I'm going to see as well, by the way. Yeah, I don't really spend a lot of time in test center, to be honest. And but because some of you asked for it, I sort of like, you know, thought maybe it's a good idea to do something for you guys. Because I haven't been really doing a lot lately for the Marvel Heroes and kind of missed the whole crowd as well. So this is ultimate time, and ultimate looks something like that. All right. Well, I mean, it doesn't really look anything. It just buffed her power. That's it. Do you see anything on the ultimate? I don't know. I don't think so, man. So yeah, that's it. So that is the. She hit very strong. She hit very fast, and that's about it, right? So yeah. So that is the. That is a wrap here on Black Cat, and you know, let me just clean up this thing. I hate a lot of things here walking around. Okay, so now before I log off, I mean, just bear in mind that this is a test center. She's all shiny and stuff like that. Wow, look at her, man. What kind of costume is it? She's still on ultimate mode? I think so. Yeah, alright. I think there's still ultimate stuff going on, so she's become very powerful, I guess, apparently. Not quite sure how that works. But alright, so that was the kind of ultimate. So now, bear in mind that this is still test center. A lot of things can change, but the fundamental design should stay. So just to recap, there are 3 kind of specialization kind of built for you. The traditional melee that you've seen, like many other heroes out there, or you can play around with traps. I'm not quite sure how effective it is in an end game kind of scenario. Could be fun, movement a little bit here and there. Or you can do a stealth build. So you wish, if you like the stealth, and then do a catnap and put it down. Although my experience to it is not that kind of like effective in the sense that it should be something only useful while after breaking stealth for, you know, within 2 seconds, something like that. Like some of the Psylocke kind of power, some of the you know, Black Panther kind of power that, you know, you could break stealth and then still can use it. Otherwise, these 2 powers seems to me doesn't really quite work out for me. So to me, it's down to one build, which is a claws and whips. You know, for those who enjoy kind of melee, good news, because it's the same old thing. You won't get wrong. That's all I would like to talk about Black Cat, and I hope that I've done a reasonably alright job to introduce what she is like in the game. So pre-order or don't bother, it is really up to you. She has great voice acting, and I can't really say too much about the rest of the stuff that I've seen here. So do let me know in the comment box below. Do you like what you see? Is something that you'd like to ask for? Some of feedback and so on. Let me know whether you like her or not. Are you going to pre-order as well? I'm very interested to know. And as always, connect with me through in-game, through Steam. I got Steam ID there at the bottom of my video. There's a web link as well to my website. Whole list of updated guides and video for you all. Alright, see you next time. Goodbye.